Hey guys, Chief here from Chief Live Gaming on Twitch.com. Today we're going to go through one of the new instances released with the Dungeon Assault patch in Tera. The one we're going to cover is the 3-man instance called Channelworks. This is a instance that has a required item level of 153 or higher when used with the instance matchmaking. Or if you prefer, you can form your own group and head to the eastern end of Baldera and use the teleporter there. So Channelworks is a unique dungeon in Tera in the sense that you do not actually have to have the conventional tank, healer, and DPS combo to complete the dungeon. Say for example you have 2 DPS and 1 healer in your group. When you enter Channelworks, a tank will be provided for you and will actually tank the boss. In a similar way, you can get a healer or DPS NPC to assist you when you are inside. So this allows for any group combination to be successful in this instance. As long as you have 3 people, you can go ahead and enter and fill out the rest of your group as needed. So the first boss in Channelworks is pretty easy. He only has 2 mechanics that you really need to watch out for. As soon as you drop down off of the grate into the main room, he will spawn directly in the center, so make sure you're ready to go before you do drop down. The first mechanic you need to watch out for are the laser beams. This boss will do this attack for the entirety of the fight. He will shoot out a couple laser beams from either side for a few seconds, then turn them off, rotate, and shoot the laser beams again. He will repeat this until he dies. If you do get hit by the laser beams, don't worry about it. They don't do a ton of damage. Just try to avoid them if possible. The only other mechanic that this boss will do is the trap mode. If you're watching the video, you can see that every 25% the boss dialogue will come up saying trap mode initialized. When this happens, you will see 2 walls start to form, running parallel to each other down the room. You do not want to get stuck in the center of these 2 walls. Your goal is to move and hit the outside before they lock you in. If you do get locked in, you will take a fair bit of damage. Depending on your gear level, it may or may not kill you. So do your best to get out. If you're not comfortable as a melee class getting out of range, as the boss health approaches 75%, 50%, or 25%, you can start to leave a little bit early just to make sure you get safe. During this fight, you will have an engineer that will heal you, so if you do take a little bit of damage, just try to stay safe and you will get topped off. Another interesting note, as a berserker, you can block these laser beams from the boss as they do hit fairly rapidly to regenerate a lot of your mana from Axe Block with the Mind Spark glyph if you choose to run that. The second boss in Channelworks is pretty straightforward. There are 2 main mechanics that you want to watch out for. The first one is an egg that he will randomly spawn around the room. Once you see this, head over and DPS it down quickly. If you don't do this quick enough, it will break open and spawn an ad that will chase you around while you're fighting the boss. So just do your best to take the egg down and then continue to DPS on the boss. He will also periodically spam a Poison Nova-like attack centered upon him. Once you see this, just back out and wait for it to end. It doesn't last very long. If you do end up taking some damage from it, don't worry. The boss will also periodically drop some healing motes that you can pick up that are similar to a Mystic's healing motes. So if you do take some damage, it's best to wait, use either a healing potion, try to get out of combat, use a bandage, or pick up one of these motes if you don't have a healer. As you enter the last room of the instance, you'll be fighting the 3rd and final boss. To initiate this fight, start DPSing the statue just as you walk in that looks like a lancer. Once you break this open, it will spawn a lancer that will tank the boss for you. This tank will hold him most of the fight, and you will not need to worry about tanking him. After a short time, 2 more statues will spawn on either side of the room. This is where you make a choice between picking an additional DPS healer NPC to assist you for the remainder of the fight. These NPCs provide you with a sort of aura depending on which one you choose. The healer will give you a pretty significant health per second or hot aura that will keep you alive for most of the fight in case you don't have a healer of your own. If you do have a healer, you're probably better off picking the DPS statue. This will give you a very large power increase and also assist you with a little bit of DPS of its own for the rest of the fight. As long as you choose the NPC that best matches your group's makeup, you shouldn't have too much trouble with this boss. He does some pretty standard ground pounds, AoEs, and aggressive melee attacks, so just do your best to mitigate or avoid this damage if at all possible. You will also be provided with a 5% crit buff that stacks all the way up to 100% crit. This is very helpful as the boss has quite a high health pool. The most sought after piece of equipment in this instance is the Zenith's Shield Band. This is a ring that is part of the 3-piece Zenith's jewelry set. To get the other 2 pieces, you'll need to journey into the Kezel's Gorge 7-man, as well as Shattered Fleet 5-man. You may also receive some Tier 14 fodder, as well as a guaranteed Zenith treasure chest per player. This chest can include some Tier 14 fodder, Alkahest's Master Enigmatic Scrolls, gems, some Vision Maker recipes, vitriols, or if you're lucky, a Mark of Bloodshed or even Steadfast gear. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned a couple things about this new instance. If you like it, you should also check out the 5, 7, and 10-man versions of new instances that were also released in this Dungeon Assault patch. The video portion of this video was recorded live at my live stream, www.twitch.com/chieflivegaming. Please check me out if you enjoy this. I will probably release other videos relating to the 5, 7, and 10 mans when time allows. Good luck, guys. Thanks again, and happy gaming.